Trump says his biggest fear is nuclear warming, with China to U.S. needs strong president. Donald Trump asserts Putin, Xi, Kim Jong-un are at top of their game in Musk interview. Trump says his biggest fear is nuclear warming, with China to overtake U.S. in capability.
Canada Chief Human Rights Commissioner resigns after controversy over Israel activity. An embattled human rights chief resigns, as review concludes he intentionally omitted name information. Pro-Fox hunting group says UK hunters should be protected ethnic minority. Judge rules against RFK Jr. in fight to be on New York's ballot. Says he is not a state resident. Kamala Harris backed by 50% of Brits compared to just 21% for Donald Trump, new poll shows. Voters trust Harris more than Trump on economy, as per a poll. Trump falsely claims a crowd photo from Harris' campaign rally in Detroit was created using AI, and former U.S. Congress Speaker McCarthy tells Trump to stop questioning size of Harris's crowds.
MTV Video Music Awards move back a day because of U.S. presidential debate and will air on September 11th. Isaac Hayes' family demands $3 million from Donald Trump for playing "Hold On, I'm Coming" at campaign events. Pro-Trump Super PAC says it will spend $100 million on ads between now and Labor Day.
Crypto Democrats rally behind Harris' campaign in push for policy revamp, and Republicans claim betrayal as cryptocurrency PAC backs Democrats. Donald Trump holds over $1 million in Ether, also receives NFT licensing fees, and Trump reveals $513 million from golf clubs and resorts. NYC Mayor Eric Adams and his campaign receive subpoenas in federal investigation.
Jr. now seeks deal with Harris for administration role in exchange for endorsement after making same offer to Trump. Sanders accuses Trump of laying groundwork for election denial with AI crowd claims. Harris campaign deceptively trims Trump post about Elon Musk interview.
Trump warns that if Kamala Harris wins, everybody gets health care, and Donald Trump says he's entitled to personal attacks on Kamala Harris. Secret Service approves bulletproof glass to shield Trump at outdoor rallies. In the U.S., Biden and Harris administration announces new, lower prices for first 10 drugs selected for Medicare price negotiation to lower costs for millions of Americans. Trump says, Presidential Civilian Award is better than top military honor whose recipients are dead or hit by bullets. Tim Walz and J.D. Vance agree to U.S. vice presidential debate, setting up October 1st clash. Texas Attorney General threatens lawsuit over the state fair banning guns.
Harris to propose up to $25,000 in down payment support for first-time homebuyers, as Harris to endorse protections for renters and removal of key tax benefits for Wall Street investors buying homes, where Harris to target price gouging in first policy speech in North Carolina. With Milei, poverty in Argentina reaches 73.3%.
Kroger sues FTC, calling its in-house judges unconstitutional, as food industry pushes back against Kamala Harris's price gouging plan. Walmart's use of digital price tags signal the future of retail shopping, but consumers are worried. In Argentina, the government will make available to the public a database of 12 million daily prices from 3,600 supermarkets across the country.
U.S. and Mexico trade surpasses $415 billion through first half of 2024. Future murky for Russia to China pipeline, as Mongolia omits project from long-term plan. King Mohammed VI grants royal pardon to over 4,800 in cannabis-related cases.
1979 Ford Probe IGEA concept burned leaving Monterey Car Week. Dry ice shortages limit carry-out ice cream orders in Japan. GM reveals GMC Yukon at 4 Ultimate to expand reach, profits of high-end SUVs.
FAA orders 787 cockpit seat inspections after rise in incidents. China court accepts liquidation, hearing against Evergrande unit. In the U.S., 10 more states sign onto Department of Justice's Live Nation Ticketmaster antitrust suit.
U.S. to convene Sudan ceasefire talks, even without Khartoum. 2 days ago, Sudan says, consultations with U.S. conclude without agreement. Putin to hold talks with Palestinian president in Moscow. China, Indonesia hold first 2+2 senior officials meeting amid South China Sea tensions.
Hezbollah chief claims Israel in decline as IDF warns border areas on high alert. U.S. for European nations call on Iran to refrain from attacking Israel. In Brazil, Amorim blocks Israeli armored vehicles and defense proposes production in RS. Reportedly, Belarusian air defenses shot down 13 drones flying from Ukraine on August 9, and Belarus summons Ukraine envoy over alleged drone airspace violations. Ukrainian troops have captured 28 settlements amid Kursk incursion, Russia says. Putin cuts off governor who admitted Ukraine advancing in Russia, and Putin replaces Gerasimov with FSB chief Bortnikov in Kursk operation. Putin says, Ukraine's attack on Russia is aimed at ceasefire negotiations. IDF, Shin Bet name another 12 Hamas, Islamic Jihad operatives killed in strike at Gaza school, bringing total to 31. 3 days ago, White House deeply concerned, after Gaza officials report, more than 100 killed in school sheltering thousands. UNSC schedules meeting to discuss Israeli strike on Gazan school for August 13. Hamas says it won't take part in Gaza hostage ceasefire deal talks.
Russia diplomat says Ukraine wouldn't have attacked Nord Stream without U.S. approval, and in Nord Stream gas pipeline sabotage, Poland receives arrest warrant for Ukrainian. Ukraine presidential advisor denies Ukraine's involvement in Nord Stream explosions. Recently, Ukrainian team blew up Nord Stream pipeline, claims report. Iraq says announcement on date for end to US-led coalition mission postponed. China will limit exports of antimony, a mineral used in products from batteries to weapons. In Russia, RuTube launches function for quick transfer of content from YouTube.
Biden joins calls for new elections in Venezuela, and White House walks back Biden's call for new Venezuela election. Thaksin's daughter Paedingtarn Shinawat to become new Thai PM. In Canada, Pierre Poilievre promises to defund the CBC after $18.4 million bonus amount revealed.
Russia warns of consequences if Poland attempts to intercept missiles over Ukraine. Germany deploys a tank brigade to Lithuania. Modi to visit Ukraine, weeks after Kyiv condemned Indian PM for hugging Putin in Moscow, and India ready to extend all support for peaceful resolution of Ukraine conflict, announced by Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Confirming Netanyahu accepts U.S. deal proposal, Blinken says Hamas must now do the same. Abbas said to ask Israel to allow Gaza visit as PA works to line up support for trip. Hamas, Islamic Jihad claim credit for Tel Aviv, suicide operation.
Venezuela to convene World Antifascist Congress, announced by President Maduro. Putin announced that Russia offers safe haven for people trying to escape Western liberal ideals. Reportedly, Alex Jones considers leaving U.S. and social media approves. French left splits again after Mélenchon calls for Macron's impeachment.
Officers involved in Kinmen capsizing not charged, and Chinese mainland criticizes Taiwan's findings on fatal fishing boat incident near Jinmen. Chinese and Philippine ships collide at Sabina Shoal, a new flashpoint. German warships await orders on crossing Taiwan Strait.
UAW workers at Stellantis could strike over Illinois plant reopening. GM is cutting more than 1,000 workers from its software business. Harley-Davidson drops diversity efforts after attacks by anti-DI activists.
In the UK, move to East Prison overcrowding as more rioters jailed, also public urge to hand in zombie knives and machetes to police, ahead of ban. Misogyny to be treated as extremism by UK government.
Trump shares fake image of Harris speaking to communist event. Harris proposes raising the corporate tax rate to 28%, rolling back a Trump law. Key Democratic patron Ron Conway departs from top crypto super PAC Fairshake, claims a report. Comedian Eric Andre alleges he was racially profiled at Melbourne Airport.
BB Rexa says she was a victim of a hate crime after being banned from German airline for speaking Albanian. Ottawa Pride loses key allies over anti-Israel stance. Democrats start convention with Biden passing torch to Harris. Kamala Harris walks out to Beyoncé and a standing ovation during DNC debut. Ocasio-Cortez, once an outsider, takes center stage at convention. In the United States, Republicans open impeachment proceedings against Joe Biden 3 months before the presidential election.
Celsius sues Tether over $3.3 billion Bitcoin claim, and Celsius targets Tether, Badger DAO, Compound, and Netanyahu's niece and nephew in lawsuits. 9 months ago, crypto lender Celsius Network cleared to exit bankruptcy, and 17 months ago, it had been reported as Celsius seeks $2 billion withdrawn before bankruptcy. 9 months ago, bankruptcy court confirms that retail borrowers' crypto belongs to Celsius. SEC files fraud charges against promoters of Novatech, alleged $650 million crypto pyramid scheme.
With Bo's Stuttgart Digital and ECB trial. Binance will start converting Monero to USDC on September 2nd as part of delisting. Mark Cuban says to get rich, invest 10% of savings in high-risk investments, but if it's Bitcoin, throw a Hail Mary and pretend it's gone.
Binance agrees to $1.76 million settlement with Brazilian authorities, and Binance restarts services in India after 7 months regulatory halt. Goldman Sachs reveals more than $400 million in Bitcoin ETF holdings. Klarna takes on banks with a personal account and cashback rewards ahead of IPO.
Iran is giving $24 to anyone who reports illegal crypto miners. US moves $600 million of Silk Road Bitcoin to Coinbase Prime, but not necessarily to sell. Floki becomes official cryptocurrency partner of Nottingham Forest FC.
Half of crypto ads on Facebook are scams or violate Meta's policies, consumer regulator alleges, as Australian regulator claims 58% of crypto ads on Facebook are scams. Meta denies claims of crypto ad scams on Facebook. Crypto criminals shift focus to centralized exchanges, Chainalysis report reveals. ZachXBT claims 21 North Korea crypto devs are making $500,000 a month.
75% of all Bitcoin has been hodled for over 6 months. Gold bars are worth $1 million for the first time. Chinese banks hold key lending rates after PBOC signals caution. Former CEO of Kansas Bank sentenced to over 24 years for $47 million crypto fraud. Australian regulator shuts down over 600 crypto scams in the past year. Shaquille O'Neal will have to defend some of the allegations against him in the Astrals NFT lawsuit. Bank of Ghana unveils draft rules for cryptocurrency exchanges. Nigeria planning to present law to tax crypto by September, claimed in a report. Coin Center wins right to sue U.S. Treasury. IRS again over controversial tax reporting rule, as U.S. considers including crypto transactions in fiat reporting rules.
USDC tap to pay on Apple iPhone, incoming soon, announced Circle CEO. Nearly 90% of developers surveyed say premium games don't need microtransactions. China's Supreme Court revises anti-money laundering law to include virtual assets.
Former Bank of Japan board member rules out another rate hike this year. Director of the Central Bank of Brazil insists on possible rate hikes. Fitch downgrades Israel to the outlook negative.
IDF says it has no intel to confirm or deny Hamas claims its guards killed wounded Israeli hostages. Hamas armed wing says 1 Israeli hostage killed, 2 women captives seriously wounded. 6 months ago in Israel, sperm from 91 fallen soldiers retrieved, bill to allow use awaiting Knesset approval.
China's autonomous vehicle startup WeRide seeks U.S. IPO at $5 billion valuation. Tesla stops taking orders for cheapest Cybertruck, offers $100,000 version now. China's Hesai to be removed from U.S. Defense Department blacklist. For months ago, LiDAR maker Hesai sues U.S. government, denies alleged link to China's military.
UAE economy continues robust growth across real estate, tourism, manufacturing, reported by OPEC. UN body says Brazil is close to leaving the hunger map and Lula celebrates, working in the right direction. 76% of Hong Kong firms have never hired young people with special needs, survey finds.
GM cuts China jobs as it resets in world's biggest car market. More than half of new cars sold in China are now electric or hybrid, and global EV sales up 21% in July as China records biggest jump of 2024, as per Romotion. Jaguar's latest plan is to basically stop selling cars for a year. 2025 GMC Terrain is boxy again and ditches the push-button shifter. Navy completes install of first MQ-25 unmanned air warfare center aboard USS George H.W. Bush. China's military AI detects secret radar links between South China Sea, Alaska and Guam. US eases tech curbs to boost AUKUS security pact with UK and Australia.
In Israel, Attorney General tells Netanyahu to form independent inquiry to avoid ICC warrant. Saudi Crown Prince fears assassination over normalization with Israel. Abbas declares Gaza indivisible from Palestine, and Gaza truce talks start in Doha as Israel and Iran tensions simmer. Belarus Lukashenko urges Russia and Ukraine to end war as Kursk incursion continues and U.S. wants Ukrainians to die in conflict, says Lukashenko. China and Vatican discuss Ukraine peace plan as Russia continues to lose ground. White House confirms Russia redeployed part of its troops to Kursk region.
Ukraine cleared to use armor donated by Canada on Russian territory. Biden open to sending long-range cruise missiles to Ukraine. British Challenger 2 tanks thought to have been used inside Russia by Ukrainian troops.
LA woman sentenced to 12 years in Russian prison over $51 donation to Ukraine. Ukraine to offer citizenship to foreign fighters and their families.
In the U.S., Democrats accuse Kroger of using digital price tags to gouge consumers. Mars to buy Pringles maker Kellanova for $36 billion in 2024's biggest deal. Federal Trade Commission announces final rule banning fake reviews and testimonials.
Home Depot warns of pullback in consumer spending, saying Americans are delaying big projects, and 1/3 of home builders are slashing prices as confidence in the market falls to 8 months low. Travel companies rein in their forecasts as U.S. consumers cut spending. U.S. nearly doubles duty on Canadian softwood lumber. Citroën leaving Australia after being outsold by Ferrari. In the UK, thousands hit by fines from cloned car plates. Acura's new concept previews the first model atop Honda's EV platform that will be built in U.S.
Pagani says 70% of Utopias sold have manual transmissions. 2025 Lincoln Navigator gets a massive new screen. Second row massage seats. Geely, Xpeng, Xiaomi boosted by strong vehicle sales amid threats from EU tariffs. In the UK, Extinction Rebellion's plan to storm Windsor Castle and camp on royal grounds for 3 days revealed. In the U.S., a Jordanian citizen arrested for explosives threats and attack on energy facility for their perceived support for Israel. Kim.com to be extradited from New Zealand after 12 years fight with U.S.
In the UK, Conservative Party's visa restrictions on international students won't be reversed, Education Secretary says. In Canada, cell phone ban coming to Manitoba schools this fall, Kinyu announces. FCC approves AST SpaceMobile's first commercial satellite launch, space-based broadband network direct to everyday cell phones.
U.S. approves $3.5 billion sale of military helicopters to South Korea. Laser weapon appears on Chinese amphibious assault ship. Switzerland offers $60,000 cash prize for ideas to rid its iconic Alpine lakes of military ammunition.
Russia's United Shipbuilding Company and Baku Shipyard to start constructing river-to-sea tankers, announced by Putin, and Russia's Gazprom, Azerbaijan's Soka to broaden multifaceted strategic partnership, Gazprom CEO Alexei Miller said. Azerbaijan, Russia act as allies, friends, announced Aliyev, and durable peace in South Caucasus in everyone's best interests, said Putin. Moscow is ready to get involved in Azerbaijan and Armenia peace process, Putin says.
Hyundai and Kia are closing the gap with Tesla as U.S. EV market share hits double digits. Alphabet's Waymo introduces new hardware with sensors better armed against winters. Trump says he may end EV tax credit, is open to naming Elon Musk as an advisor.
Canadian retail giant makes £29.2 billion bid for 7-Eleven. Purdue recalls £167,000 of chicken nuggets after consumers find metal wire in some packages. AMD to buy server maker, designer ZT Systems in $4.9 billion challenge to Nvidia.
Former British officer says Putin's life is at risk from insider poisoning. Russia blacklists 32 British think tank experts, announced by Russian Foreign Ministry.
In the U.S., House Intelligence Committee chairman says Iran could declare itself a nuclear weapons state by the end of the year. U.S. intelligence officials say Iran is to blame for hacks targeting Trump and Biden-Harris campaigns. Iran demands U.S. proof of Tehran's alleged interference in presidential election. Former Saudi official alleges Crown Prince forged king's signature on Yemen war decree.
Promises heaven for killed. Operation in Russia's Kursk Oblast would have been called unrealistic, so it was kept secret, says Zelensky, and Ukraine in control of 92 settlements in Russia's Kursk Oblast, Zelensky claims. Ukraine may join NATO despite being partially occupied by Russia, Czech president says. Canada to pause approval of temporary foreign workers for low-wage jobs in Montreal. Youth unemployment in China jumps to 17.1% in July. Charities condemn abuse and exploitation amid Scottish fish firm Modern